All right, spinning around and boom. Welcome back to Buster on the Weekend. All right, man. What's happening, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the podcast. I'm your host, MC Buster here. Very glad for everybody to be tuning into the podcast. And hey, if you are new and just now finding out about me, and this is your first episode you have seen from me, I will leave the link in the description down below to play as well. I have this episode all the way down to my most recent one, all the way down to my very first one, from ascending to descending. I'm gonna use that every time for right now. From ascending to descending. Yeah. And if you are a current subscriber, man, who has been tuning in and supporting the channel, man, I really love and appreciate the support. Even if you are new to me, I still appreciate you as well. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and sell the word. Now, for my second channel, MC Buster, where I have been uploading beats there, I'll leave the channel or leave the link to that channel as well if you are interested. For so as we are about to get ready to get crack with this episode, I had to once again promote a new AI generated Christian film called Joseph, a film master from birth, written and directed by my buddy David J. Hoffman of Trinity Productions, another great aspiring film producer, man. I pray that he reaches new heights by the grace of God, man. Because, to be able to follow your dreams, man, it's a blessing. Because it's going to be hard, man, when you first start, though. But as long as you keep going, keep pursuing the road ahead, as you let God lead your steps, man, things will be better for you, step by step. Now, as we get into the film, if you are interested in hearing and reading more about Joseph, go to Genesis chapter 37 through 50. Make sure you skip 38 because 38 isn't part of the story. But not saying that it ain't relevant at all, but it's not part of the story of Joseph. But yeah, 37 through 50 if you want to learn more about Joseph before watching the film. But if you choose to watch the film and read the story in the Bible later, then it's your preference. But yeah, man, y'all go tune in to the movie, and I'll leave the link in the description to where you can find the movie as well on a streaming app called Falcon TV. I never heard of it though, but it sounds like another great streaming app like Tubi for sure. But yes, let's stream again. Now, as we get this episode cracking, I would say that though, but I don't give a fuck. But I like to start with my own thought of the day, and this is a quote that I've been putting into my head, that it's okay to say sorry if you are not wrong, or even you're not wrong about something, either after a confrontation and argument. Because at the end of the day, man, it's a great thing to value peace over pride. Now, when I say value peace over pride, in my perspective, I'm saying it means to me that we are human at the end of the day. We're gonna have some good days, we'll have some bad days. We're gonna feel at our worst. We're gonna definitely have some great days. But at any point of the day that there is a problem that you have with somebody and stuff, family member or a friend or girlfriend, boyfriend, husband or wife, communication is key as always. And being able to be consistent with that communication, man, it goes a long way. Whether it was something you want to talk about is good, or something that you feel that person has did, it's okay to be real with them about it, instead of just that certain palette keep going and going, and then you just holding in. Like, it's okay to point out the problem right there, And if the other person is able to take accountability and apologize right then, and is able to work on the problem, then everything will be smooth and steady. Cause like, it's not about, what to talk to the person about. It's more about how the approach and how you come out and stuff. But if that person comes at you first, in an aggressive way, or if they keep doing something that you keep telling them about that you don't like, and start being selfish, toxic, being prideful, and act like that, they a victim, and every time you call them out about something and shit, then it's just crazy, man. But at the end of the day, it takes two to make something work. It takes two to make something work. If y'all really want it, man, it will work. But it's all about consistency. Everything cannot be one-sided all the fucking time, bro. You gotta put in your work too. Even if it's a confrontation, man, if both y'all value peace over pride, though, take time to fucking communicate about the problem instead of doggone running away from the shit. And trying to play the victim at the end. And shit lame as fuck at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, man, consistency is key. Communication leads to better understanding of things and better solution to whatever problem that each of y'all run into. I hope that I'm saying and giving my thoughts on the best way I can. Right now, we are about to give my recap and review of the NBA playoffs so far. We have made past round 1 the week before last, and the second round is still going. I won't get into that until the next week or so. But right now, I will recap the first round from the East to the West. Starting off with the East, since I'm in the East, and the East is the right, and my dummy hand is the right. Yeah. Look, we definitely gonna start with the first round with the East. All right, we have Detroit and Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic, they have been inconsistent, when it comes to trying to go to playoffs ever since, especially ever since the Dwight Howard had left, who was their biggest star around that time, along with other great supporting cast members. And after his era in Orlando, they have been struggling, and then that's when 2019 they barely squeezed into the AFC, into the playoffs, only to win one game. And 2020 they were able to get to the playoffs once again, just to lose again in 5 games. Win the first game back to back in 2 years apart from each other, and then lose the other four after that. But at least they were able to get back into it. But it's just that it wasn't enough at the end of the day. But I gotta give my respect to them around that time for being able to make it. And now they are back into the fold, losing again in 7 games, surprisingly, because let's be for real, bro. I like to give my congratulations to Detroit as well for because they have been inconsistent like a motherfucker too for like 16, 17. Well, yeah, for about ever since that era when they had Chauncey Billups, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Richard Hamilton, and everybody else that was on the team then, especially from 2004. Cause like ever since Ronald era right there, they have been getting Eastern Conference Finals, man, just by every year after 2005 when they lost 7 games to San Antonio, aka Robert Horry. Yeah. But y'all know the story right there. They have been getting to Eastern Conference Finals just about every year out there, man. That's how consistent that team was then. And after they had split apart, they had some inconsistencies on getting back into the fold. The time they was in the playoffs was then, I believe, was 2016. where they got swept by Cleveland, and then 3 years later, they have got swept by Milwaukee. Then it has inconsistencies on getting back to the playoffs right up to now. But some things are gonna be hard, but you're gonna get back to it as long as you keep fooling power and have faith. Now they are back into the playoff fold after especially that terrible ass 28-0 losing streak they had a season before, I think it was, or last season. I don't remember though, but if it was the season before or the season after, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But yeah, they had a terrible season, man. But they were able to bounce back, man. I gotta give them props on that for sure. I gotta give them my props. Yeah, it was a season before that because they got to playoffs last year, losing 6 against New York, and then now they was about to die. In the first round against Atlanta, I thought Atlanta was gonna walk down their ass. And then on top of that, another red flag was the fact that paying a bitch ass nigga 20 over 100 mil, scoring 20 20 points per game in the regular season, and this motherfucker scoring single digits in the playoffs. I thought because of that big ass red flag, and I feel like it's the only red flag that is within Detroit right now. Everybody else is good, but it's just that big red flag right there. The fact that y'all pay a nigga like that much money so soon, y'all damn was about to die, but miraculously y'all came back. It's crazy though, cause they should. Let's be for real, bro. Detroit fan, bro. Y'all would have been dead right there if Orlando would have beat y'all in Game 5 like that. It would have been no. But y'all came back though, man. Y'all. Hey, congratulations though. Now y'all in second round against Cleveland. Pretty much another repeat of 10 years ago when it was in playoffs, but it's different now though. I can't get into that yet. So, but congratulations, man, to Detroit, man, getting past the first round after 16 years though, cause it has been over 16 years since they last got out the first round though, and a whole lot of struggling though for sure. But congratulations to them once again, man, for getting back to the fold. Now, for the other team we have is Boston and Philadelphia. Now, I'm gonna try to keep it simple a little bit because, boy, I'm glad it hasn't been over like half a decade, because it's nearly been half a decade. 2 years since they last won championship. Now they would have got far in the playoffs though, but especially last year, but they end up messing up really bad. With Jason Taylor going down with the Achilles injury and other areas that has them not getting as far as they supposed to. So now with them getting to the playoffs once again, Jason Taylor was recovering from the Achilles injury. James Brown was able to carry the load for them and to get them back on playoff picture. But due to them, I really don't get it, bro. I'm guessing that some things are coming back, switching up. The roles have been reversed because like every time that Boston and Philly go up against each other, Philly always end up losing it at the end of the fucking cliff. Philly off the fucking cliff every time they go against Boston. So last time they went up against Boston, they end up losing in 7 games. When Joel beat one of the fucking MVP, but in Game 7 he gave up. He gave up in Game 7, yes. Because ain't no fucking way that you can sit there and get individual achievement and then selflessly not live up to an expectation because you want to cry like a bitch that Jokic got the MVP over you and shit, and then you been ducking Jokic every time y'all play in Denver. That's how I know that you not that muscle dominant center to begin with. And Jokic is pretty much eons better than this nigga. And Jokic don't even fucking defend for real. Jokic is not a good defender down there, and he's way better than him. But yo, good thing. It's a good thing that they were able to, turn things around out that terrible last season. Getting back into the fold, winning the play-in tournament, and were able to keep their heads up and keep the faith of them alive to come back from a 3-1 lead. That's probably the first time they came back from a 3-1 lead in their franchise history. Paul George and Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and the big three and Welber. And, but so far as Boston, bro, when you only got one job, bro, I'm telling you, man, when you only have one job, you supposed to come through it. You only got one job. Put it away. And they came back on. And then game 7, Jason Taylor won't fucking sit out. You won't fucking sit out for game 7. Dog on them, boy. 9 times out of 10, they was out there they would have won though. But I feel like another reason why they failed to win and reach 4 games and stuff is because of the fact that Derrick White is one of them. Playing over his role and shit, that he is a good defender, but it's just that he has been terrible from 3-point range. And I feel like that's one of the downfalls to them collapsing the way that they did is the fact that they were shooting so many doggone 3-pointers, acting like they are the Golden State Warriors and shit back when they were shooting all threes and all that bullshit. I kind of still didn't like that, but yo, they was trying to act like they them again. It's not 2024 final when y'all beat Dallas in 5 games. This is a whole different team. The team that y'all used to walk down, but now karma has come spit back around. You only got one job. But we're not gonna get into further than that. All right. So, but in second round though, with Philly went against New York, we're gonna leave that for the next video. We're not gonna get into that. All right. So the next team that we got on the list, definitely y'all, Cleveland and Toronto. I'm sorry about that. Cleveland. It was Cleveland and Toronto. They were able to go against each other. Toronto has been a little consistent. Staying in the playoff picture at least, even though there has been some years where they haven't been to the playoffs though, but they have been consistent still. Still staying alive and stuff. And they have lost to Cleveland in 6 games. But at least it wasn't the second round when those back-to-back years when Cleveland and Toronto went against each other, and then Toronto had the #1 spot over Cleveland in 2018, and for some reason they just the rest is history. But still, congratulations to them for being able to get to the playoffs again. And then New York, they had went up against New York and Atlanta. Now, the fact that New York and Atlanta, it's been half a decade since they last went up against each other, and around the time that New York and Atlanta was had faced off in the first round, in the first round of the playoffs. I'm sorry. They had lost to Atlanta in 5 games. Trae Young leading the way, still being the villain at the end of the day. But they was up. Now they were up 2-1. They were up 2-1 on New York. But after being up 2-1, they ended up New York came back and smoked their ass in 6. So the rest of the day history right there, though. But congratulations to ATL, man, for still being able to go to the playoffs after Trae Young had after Trae Young had left to go to Washington and playing with AD, who himself has been struggling lately to stay fucking healthy. It's really ridiculous, man. But yeah, that's it for first round for each conference playoffs in round 1. Now we are going to the West. Now OKC and Phoenix, grab the brooms for that. We're not gonna get too much of that because man, it's just they couldn't even take one fucking game. They ain't even to at least one fucking game of that series at least. Like 9 times 10, bro. If the refs, like, we're gonna talk about this shit later. But yo, that's history. We're not gonna get too much of that. Denver and Minnesota, yep, did the same story like on 2024 when they had face off in the second round, but this time they lost in 6 games. So Denver, every time Denver go against Minnesota, man, Minnesota always on the losing end, and Denver on the end of the cliff. I'm sorry for stuff. And no, that's history. So next we got Lakers and Houston. Now, a lot of people who are Houston fans deserve to be pissed the fuck off with Kevin Durant, because the way that KD was in Houston was able to get them to the playoffs and stuff on the lead. So Ime Udoka, y'all get to the fucking playoffs after what 6 years 6 years after James Harden had left, and then got the fucking nerve to go the whole doggone playoffs and not play every game because of a fucking problem with his ankle. This dude is a fucking a skeleton. You can pretty much say, dude is a fucking skeleton. And no way that you can be the greatest scorer and be this fucking passive and shit. You need to start drinking some more fucking milk, nigga. That's one thing you need to do. Cause let's be real, bro. He sabotaged the team, bro, in the playoffs, though. He left them hanging. He only played 1 game, and that was game 2 on Lakers home court, scoring 23 points, and that's it. Other than that, man, bro, he left them hanging, though. And that's really the most selfish ass way. Being the greatest scorer there is being over 33,000 points. Over 30,000 points, not 33,000, but over 30,000 points. And you left the new team that you started your first fucking season and can't get on the cliff like that. But I gotta give them credit for at least hanging in there. They at least hung in there and gave the Lakers a little bit of a fight, but the Lakers without Luka Doncic was always up on them every time. But they was up 3-0 on them boys. But at least they were able to squeeze out two more games out. Salute to them on that, and congratulations to them for getting back to the playoff picture, even though that they team leader, supposed to be team leader, was leaving them hanging in the most passive, selfish ass way. That's a selfish fucking excuse, man, to miss the playoffs. I don't give a fuck. Start drinking some more fucking milk, man. 9 times 10, bro. These time niggas, man, be doggone faking injuries and shit. 9 times you can fake an injury. Load management too. Just like with Kawhi Leonard and shit. 7 years since he been on the Clippers, and then he doing the bullshit that he doing. We're not gonna get into that. That was in the last episode. And way before then, I don't give a fuck. But at the end of the day, though, usually he's selfish as fuck for what he did. Now, another team, San Antonio and Portland. Congratulations to San Antonio for after 7 long years of playoff drop. That they was able to get back to the fold. The team they had with Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, and Tony Parker, they were slowly fading away due to old age. The only person that was able to come out was still able to come out on top after that era, 2014 era, was Kawhi Leonard, and he was younger the whole time, and they was still able to get to the playoffs under his leadership and stuff. And Greg Popovich has been the great coach that he is. Even though that he's not coaching, being a head coach right now, he's retired. But you gotta give him respect for being able to show up for the team and give them their support, and being able to mentor Wembanyama to become a bigger threat within the playoffs. And for them to for him to be consistent with Remy and everybody else, that is where they're gonna get carried a long way. But 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna always work out the way that you want to. Now, if they end up losing well, I'm not gonna get into it, but they were able to beat Portland and stuff, but Portland was able to squeeze one game. Congratulations to them, getting back to the fold too and win the play-in tournaments games in order to secure a spot in the playoffs. So, but right now, man, things are looking kind of crazy right now. So we still within the second round. Certain teams are still playing at the moment. And like I said, I will give my review on that in the next episode. But as for certain teams, man, they got to get it together. The teams out in the first round, though, hopefully that they get it together and things. Especially Boston, man. Boston, man, probably that's the first fucking time doing the fucking 3-1 lead in franchise history, I think. Larry Bird and Robert Parrish and them is sitting in their shoes on that. They are pissed. They are really pissed on that. Larry Bird is a fucking he's the president of Indiana, and I know it's true that he definitely pissed still, even though that he ain't playing, but yeah, he's an all-time legend of Boston, and I know it's true he definitely pissed the fuck off out there performing what they did. But we're gonna get more into playoffs next time that I drop an episode for so this right here is going to be the stopping point. This has been another good episode of Bust on the Weekend here, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and supporting the content, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and spread the word. And be on the lookout for new episodes in the future. Like I always say, let's do it again. And I'm your host, MC Buster. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.